quick shout out to my friend Chris. This was his first time doing stand-up. They said that hooking up would ruin our friendship. So nice to meet you. I'm Emma Benson. I know a lot of you recognize me right away, which I understand. I am actually a well-known and established comedian. I am such a famous and well-known comedian that I work 40 hours a week at Trader Joe's by choice. I work at Trader Joe's along with those two clowns. I like it there. I also like the store. I think it's a great place to be. It's we've got great products for the best value at the best prices to help an underserved population. You can find us in the richest neighborhood near you. I also work primarily in the frozen section of the store, putting things in the freezers. I'm one of very few girls who do that job, which at first I thought was strange, but now I understand it. It is exhausting. I spend most of my mental energy every day trying to keep my coworkers and the general public from seeing just how hard my nips are. It is truly exhausting. I think it's a testament to female strength that we'll be working up a sweat and wearing our tightest sports bra, and you take one step into the frozen section and immediately it's like titty antenna. So you guys had no idea.
We were literally is that why women don't work in frozen with me?
It's a titty situation. New Year's resolutions. Does anyone remember making last year's New Year's resolutions? No. Before this year exploded? I think it's very funny. We all had really high expectations for our year. I said things like I was going to spend less money on things and more on experiences. I was going to make new friends. I was going to eat healthy. Now my expectations for next year are much lower and more reasonable. It's things like stay inside, see less people, try to make it so the first thing you put in your mouth in the morning isn't a Twizzler. I keep having this nightmare that 2020 New Year's will happen and it'll Groundhog's Day style just start the whole year over again. I wake up shaking every time. It's horrible. But I do wonder if we were given a second chance at 2020, would we do it better? You know, I think that I personally would do it better. I'd finally get around to publishing my book. It's a how-to guide for parents, what not to say to your children when they move home with you during a global pandemic. Some favorite how not to lines include, you must really like that sweatshirt. You've worn it all week. Followed by, what's going on with those pants? They look like maternity jeans. And my personal favorite not to say line is, but your sister still has a job. Depression is cool. I know we've mentioned earlier, depression is actually really cool because it's one of very few scientifically diagnosable diseases that you can't explain to your parents. It's got a pretty magic property that way. I think a lot of people have a confused idea about depression. They'll think that the cure to depression is just doing things that make you happy, you know, like turn things around, make your own happiness. But that's like if I told you that my fish died and your response is like, oh, have you tried feeding it? Well, you're not hearing me. The fish is dead. People will still be like, come on, girl, feed that fish, manifest that shit. You can make it happen. I love this time of year. I really love Christmas time. Even though it makes a lot of people famously depressed, I love it. I am excited because this year I get to celebrate. Last year I was working through Christmas. I was on the road with the first national tour of the Elf on the Shelf, a Christmas musical. Yeah, I don't mean to toot my own horn. The two women who run the company are very family values, traditional, conservative Christian women, and they commissioned us to make a sparkly Broadway-style musical about tap dancing elves, and it is exactly as gay as you think it would be. It is the gayest piece of art to ever pass through any town. They would come to our rehearsals and they'd be so enthusiastic, but we knew that they'd leave and be talking to each other in the car now it is a shame about the burning and the fiery damnation, but those homosexuals really can put on a show. They were great. Big fan of the Elf on the Shelf. If you're not familiar with the concept, basically Santa sends an elf into your home, brings some Christmas cheer, and then they haunt you. I have a wonderful boyfriend who's at home right now watching the live stream. Hi, Anthony. Or he's not at home watching the live stream. We're going to have a serious conversation. Girls, do you ever do that? You ever things have been too good lately. Let's raise these stakes. We're due for a fight. We've been dating for a while, even though people warned me about him because he is from Long Island, which is something we had to work through. as anyone who dates a Long Islander has to work through. But he has been blessed with a huge family history. His family goes way back. His great-great-grandfather immigrated to the United States from Sicily in the 1920s. And fun fact, this man was in his late 20s, and he was 5'3" and 112 pounds. I mean, talk about an unrealistic body expectation. Like, we gotta all get on that Sicilian immigrant diet. Like, just slurping back olives, eating sardines, doing a juice cleanse, drinking straight out of the Mediterranean. I wanna be old school immigrant skinny, you know? He came to the US, he had a series of children, they're all named Anthony Orlando, which means that my boyfriend has the golden opportunity to rebrand himself as Tony Orlando, which is fucking badass. Like, you don't fuck with Tony Orlando. Like, Tony Orlando has really strong opinions about the kind of tomatoes he puts in his marinara. You know what I mean? He's very funny, even though he's not an actor or a comic. He made his first joke when he was 3 years old. He was in the playground, saw a kid in a suit, and he said to his parents, "Where's that kid going? A playground wedding?" What a great joke for a 3-year-old, right? Like, it's local, it's relatable, it's topical, flatline delivery, it's killer. I frankly think he's funnier than me, because he came up with that at 3 years old, and I retold it at 24 years old, and I fucked up the punchline. My punchline to the joke was, "Where's that kid going? A kindergarten funeral?" Which is not funny. A lot of people have been getting really fit in the quarantine, which I think is insane. Teach their own. But I have friends who are personal trainers, and they're setting all these like personal records. Like, I ran a 6-minute mile. I held a plank for 2 minutes. I mean, no offense, like, I've hit some personal records of my own. I've really made some strides in my masturbation routine. I'm doing twice the sets in half the amount of time. I famously did not have my first orgasm until I was 23 years old. This is not a joke, life's the joke. But I think it would actually make a great premise to a movie. It would be an excellent new take on the coming-of-age story. You'd be on the edge of your seat the whole time, and the climax is totally worth it. Thank you guys.